Life presents us with countless decisions, and one of the most significant is how we choose to spend our time, energy, and kindness. Every day, we face moments when we must decide whether to lend a hand to someone in need, support a friend, or assist a loved one through a difficult situation. But while offering help can be a noble act, not every attempt to help leads to a positive result. Sometimes, helping can drain us, add unnecessary stress, or even worsen the situation for the person we're trying to assist. We all desire to be kind and supportive, to be someone others can rely on. But the truth is, there are times when helping can cause harm, not only to ourselves, but to those we're trying to help. Kindness, while an admirable quality, needs to be paired with wisdom. Offering help indiscriminately can lead to enabling destructive behaviors, draining our own resources, and entangling us in situations that disrupt our peace. The ancient philosophy of Stoicism teaches us the importance of recognizing our limits. It reminds us that some people shouldn't be helped, not because we lack compassion, but because their behaviors, intentions, or patterns of life can bring chaos, harm, or even manipulation. To preserve our inner peace, we must learn to say no confidently and without guilt. Understanding when to walk away doesn't mean we lack kindness. It means we're wise enough to direct our energy where it will be most effective. Throughout life, we meet people who seem to take more than they give. They may frequently ask for help, but never seem to make progress or take responsibility for their own circumstances. These individuals can sap our emotional and mental energy without ever changing their behavior. Helping them becomes enabling, not assistance. Stoicism warns against getting caught in this trap. It can be especially difficult to distance ourselves from those we love, family members, close friends, or partners, especially when we feel a sense of duty or loyalty. But love and loyalty should not require us to sacrifice our own well-being. If a relationship leaves us feeling exhausted, taken advantage of, or emotionally drained, it may be time to set boundaries. True help involves offering support without compromising our own mental and emotional health. There are people who remain in perpetual need, not because they're incapable of changing, but because they avoid taking responsibility for their own lives. They use their struggles to gain attention or sympathy, but aren't truly seeking solutions. Stoicism teaches us to recognize when someone is stuck in a cycle of self-pity or manipulation. While it is important to help those who are genuinely trying to better themselves, we must also know when to step back and allow others to face the consequences of their actions. Adversity often serves as a powerful teacher, and by stepping in too quickly, we may prevent someone from learning vital lessons or developing resilience. It's crucial to understand that not all acts of help are noble. Some people will take advantage of our kindness, draining us without ever considering the cost. Whether it's a friend who never reciprocates, a colleague who only reaches out when they need something, or a partner who emotionally depletes us, Stoicism teaches us to recognize these patterns and step away. The longer we allow others to exploit our goodwill, the more we risk losing our peace. In our desire to help, we sometimes forget to care for ourselves. We push our boundaries and give endlessly, thinking it makes us good people. But what happens when we run dry? Stoicism reminds us that to be truly effective in helping others, we must first ensure our own well-being. Prioritizing our mental and emotional health isn't selfish, it's essential. When we're drained, we can't offer genuine support to anyone else. Helping others can also prevent them from learning important life lessons. By always stepping in to fix their problems, we deny them the opportunity to grow. Stoicism encourages us to recognize when our intervention would be counterproductive, allowing others to face their challenges and learn from them. Sometimes stepping back is the most helpful thing we can do. Not every situation requires our help, and sometimes stepping away is the wisest decision. We cannot change someone who doesn't want to change. Trying to fix people only leads to frustration and resentment. Instead, we must focus on protecting our own tranquility and cultivate relationships that are built on mutual respect and growth. Stoicism encourages us to choose our relationships carefully and invest only in those that align with our values and principles. Emotional detachment is a key Stoic practice that allows us to care deeply for others without being overwhelmed by their emotional turmoil. It doesn't mean becoming cold or indifferent, but rather, it's the ability to offer support without becoming emotionally entangled. By practicing emotional detachment, we protect ourselves from the constant drain of energy that comes from trying to control others or worrying about outcomes that are out of our hands. This approach makes us more resilient, able to face life's challenges without being emotionally rocked by them. It allows us to offer help in a balanced, thoughtful way rather than reacting impulsively. One of the greatest challenges in emotional detachment is learning to help without expecting anything in return. Often we seek gratitude or change when we help others. Stoicism teaches us to let go of these expectations. Helping without needing recognition frees us from the emotional ups and downs that come with unmet expectations. We offer help because it's the right thing to do, not because we expect something in return. Emotional detachment also involves understanding that not every situation can be fixed. Some problems are simply beyond our ability to solve, and trying to fix them can lead to frustration. Stoicism teaches us to accept our limits and not tie our self-worth to the success or failure of others. Sometimes the best thing we can do is step back and allow life to unfold on its own. Boundaries are essential in maintaining our emotional well-being. Stoicism teaches that boundaries are not walls to keep others out, but guidelines for engaging with the world in a way that preserves our peace. They help us manage our energy and protect ourselves from being overwhelmed by others' problems. We must be selective about where we invest our time and energy, ensuring we focus on what truly matters. Finally, Stoicism teaches us that relationships play a significant role in our emotional and mental well-being. The people we choose to surround ourselves with can either help us grow or drain our energy. We must choose our friends wisely, seeking those who challenge us to be better, support our principles, and encourage our personal growth. By practicing emotional detachment, we can remain calm in the face of others' crises and offer support without becoming entangled in their emotional chaos. This allows us to maintain our peace, make wiser decisions, and preserve our well-being. True kindness is rooted in wisdom, and emotional detachment is the key to offering help that benefits both ourselves and those around us. The Stoics warn against associating with people who engage in negative behaviors because over time, their negativity can influence you. It's not enough to simply avoid adopting bad habits yourself. You also need to guard against picking them up from those around you. This doesn't mean cutting off everyone who isn't perfect, but rather evaluating whether a friendship is helping you grow or holding you back. Do your friends encourage you to be your best self? Inspire you to stay true to your values and support your growth? Or do they pull you into situations that lead to regret or distraction? It's important to assess whether your relationships are fostering your pursuit of inner peace and virtue. The Stoics emphasize quality over quantity when it comes to friendships. Having a few true, virtuous friends is far more valuable than many acquaintances who drain your energy. True friendship, according to Stoicism, is rare and valuable. It's based on mutual respect, trust, and a shared commitment to living according to nature, not on superficial traits like status or wealth. A real friend will challenge you when needed, offering honest feedback and helping you stay grounded. They're not the ones who tell you only what you want to hear, but what you need to hear for growth. If your friends avoid tough conversations or simply aim to please you, they aren't helping you improve. Stoicism also teaches us to reflect on the kind of friend we are to others. Relationships should be mutual, and just as you seek virtuous friends, you should strive to be one yourself. This means being reliable, supportive, and honest, while respecting others' boundaries as you expect them to respect yours. Friendship is a partnership in virtue, and both people must contribute to its strength. Another important lesson is knowing when a relationship has run its course. People change, and as you evolve in your pursuit of virtue, you might find that certain friendships no longer align with your values. Stoicism encourages you to let go of relationships that have become toxic or stagnant, not out of cruelty, but for self-preservation. Holding on to relationships out of guilt or fear of conflict will only hinder your peace. True friends respect your boundaries and help you uphold them, while toxic friendships often drain your time and energy without offering anything meaningful in return. While differences in interests or backgrounds can enrich a friendship, Stoicism reminds us that there needs to be a core alignment of values. Friends who hold conflicting principles will eventually create tension, compromising your commitment to personal growth. Surrounding yourself with people who share your commitment to living virtuously helps you stay on track. Real friendships are not transactional. True friends don't keep score or expect anything in return. They give freely out of care and mutual respect. If you find yourself in relationships based on reciprocity and obligation, it may be time to reconsider whether they are genuine. The Stoic approach to friendship also emphasizes humility. While it's important to choose friends who inspire and support you, it's equally crucial to remain open to learning from them. True friendship offers a space for mutual growth, where you can both offer and receive insights that contribute to your development. However, Stoicism teaches us not to depend too heavily on friendships for our happiness. True peace comes from within, and relying too much on others for emotional stability can lead to unhealthy attachments. Cultivating emotional independence ensures that your friendships are healthy and not rooted in neediness. Choosing friends wisely also means avoiding those who encourage behaviors contrary to your values. Whether it's gossip, unethical activities, or negative attitudes, such individuals are not true friends. Stoicism teaches that you should have the strength to distance yourself from people who compromise your integrity. Trust is the foundation of any strong friendship. If a friend consistently betrays your trust, Stoicism suggests that it's better to let go of the relationship than to continue subjecting yourself to betrayal. A friendship without trust cannot thrive. In Stoicism, friendship is about reciprocal growth and support, not just favors or obligations. A strong friendship should be a mutual exchange where both individuals benefit and are better for having each other in their lives. If a friendship feels one-sided, it might be time to reassess whether it's serving your best interests. It's also important to surround yourself with people who inspire you to be better. When you choose friends who embody the values you aspire to, you create an environment of growth. At the same time, Stoicism teaches that you should be a virtuous influence in your friends' lives, offering support and inspiration just as they do for you. Friendships require effort. Stoicism reminds us that while good friendships may develop naturally, they still need to be nurtured. Consistency, honesty, and respect are the pillars of any strong relationship. Neglecting a friendship will lead to its deterioration, just as neglecting physical or mental health leads to decline. Being patient is also key in friendship. Everyone grows at their own pace, and it's important to accept friends as they are while gently encouraging them to be their best selves. Avoid friendships based on competition or jealousy, as these emotions can quickly turn toxic. A true friend celebrates your successes and supports you without comparing achievements. Sometimes letting go of a friendship is necessary. This can be difficult, but it's essential for preserving your peace and integrity. When a relationship becomes manipulative or draining, Stoicism teaches us to have the courage to walk away, even if it's painful. True friends respect your need for space and independence. They don't demand constant attention or expect you to be available at all times. They understand the importance of solitude for reflection and self-care. This kind of mutual respect helps foster a balanced, healthy friendship. In the end, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control. While you can't control how others behave, you can control how you respond and what you tolerate. By choosing your friends wisely, you protect your energy and ensure that your relationships are a source of strength, not stress. Friendship should be based on mutual respect, not obligation. If you feel pressured to maintain a friendship out of guilt or duty, it likely isn't a healthy relationship. True friendship is voluntary and should feel like an extension of your values and priorities, not a burden. Ultimately, the Stoic approach to friendships emphasizes that the people you surround yourself with shape your thoughts, behaviors, and emotional well-being. By applying Stoic principles to your relationships, You ensure that your friendships support your growth, enhance your life, and help you become the best version of yourself. Lastly, Stoicism reminds us that relationships must align with our pursuit of virtue and peace. Holding on to toxic relationships out of fear or guilt only drags us further from our tranquility. Letting go of toxic relationships is a powerful way to declutter your mind and focus on what truly matters: your peace, values, and personal growth. While the process of letting go can be painful, Stoicism teaches that short-term discomfort often leads to long-term emotional freedom. By accepting that relationships, especially difficult ones, can be emotionally draining, we understand that the temporary hurt of moving on is worth the lasting benefits of inner peace. Toxic relationships can easily create a cycle of resentment and frustration. When you stay in a harmful relationship, bitterness builds up over time, which not only damages your connection with others, but also harms your emotional well-being. Letting go breaks this cycle, giving you the space to heal and protect your emotional state. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of acceptance, accepting what we cannot control, and focusing on what we can. Trying to change others in toxic relationships is futile. We can only control our actions. Letting go is an act of recognizing that some things, including others' behaviors, are beyond our control. By letting go, you also regain your sense of purpose. Toxic relationships often pull us away from our true values and goals, trapping us in drama and conflict. Stoicism encourages us to live with intention, focusing on what really matters. When you release a toxic relationship, you can refocus on your purpose and find meaning in your life again. Another lesson from Stoicism is the idea of emotional independence. In toxic relationships, we can become emotionally dependent, letting someone else's actions dictate our happiness. Stoicism teaches that true peace comes from within and should not rely on others. Letting go allows you to reclaim emotional stability and find contentment on your own. Letting go is also an act of forgiveness, not just of others, but of yourself. It's easy to feel guilty for staying in a harmful relationship, but Stoicism encourages us to forgive ourselves and move forward with clarity and peace. By releasing past mistakes, you lighten the emotional burden, allowing yourself to grow and move on. Stoicism teaches us to travel lightly through life, shedding unnecessary emotional baggage. By letting go of toxic relationships, you free yourself from the weight of past pain and allow room for new, healthier connections. One of the greatest benefits of letting go is personal growth. Toxic relationships can hold us back, keeping us stuck in negative patterns and limiting our potential. Stoicism views adversity as an opportunity for growth, and breaking free from a toxic relationship forces you to confront difficult emotions, reevaluate your values, and deepen your commitment to living virtuously. Stoicism also reminds us that every ending is a new beginning. Letting go creates space for new experiences and healthier relationships that align with your values and contribute to your growth. Importantly, letting go is not selfish. It's an act of self-care. Stoicism teaches that we must prioritize our well-being to live virtuously. By letting go, you not only protect yourself, but also give the other person the chance to grow independently. It requires courage to face the discomfort of change, but Stoicism teaches us to confront challenges directly, knowing that peace often comes after tough decisions. Letting go also requires trust in yourself and the process of life. Stoicism encourages us to have faith that by letting go, we create space for something better, both for ourselves and the other person. This trust helps us release the fear of the unknown and embrace the possibilities of change. The Stoic idea of indifference plays a key role in this process. True freedom, Stoicism teaches, comes from mastering our reactions to external events, not trying to control them. Indifference is not about apathy or detachment, but about focusing on what truly matters and letting go of things we can't control. It means not letting the opinions of others, material possessions, or past regrets control our happiness. Practicing indifference helps us stay grounded, without being swept away by emotions or external circumstances. In relationships, Indifference helps you accept others as they are, without trying to mold them to your expectations. It frees you from the need for approval and allows you to live authentically. It also reduces the emotional drain of comparison, especially in a society obsessed with status and achievement. By letting go of the need to compare, you can focus on your own journey and find peace in your progress, rather than measuring yourself against others. Indifference also helps you face challenges without becoming consumed by them. Life is full of setbacks, but Stoicism teaches us that our suffering comes from attachment to how we think things should be, not the events themselves. By practicing indifference, we can accept what is and move forward with resilience. Rejection is an unavoidable part of life, and Stoicism teaches us to view it not as a judgment of our worth, but as a reflection of external circumstances. By remaining indifferent to rejection, we preserve our self-confidence and self-esteem, recognizing that our value is not determined by others' opinions or decisions. This stoic indifference also helps us focus on what truly matters. In a world filled with distractions, whether through gossip, social media, or superficial concerns, it's easy to get lost in trivialities. Stoicism reminds us that life is too short to be consumed by these distractions. By practicing indifference toward them, we can devote our time and energy to meaningful pursuits that align with our growth and well-being. Another key benefit of stoic indifference is its ability to help us embrace uncertainty. Life is inherently unpredictable, and the desire for certainty can cause anxiety. Stoicism encourages us to accept uncertainty as a natural part of life, which can free us from fear and allow us to move forward with openness and curiosity, rather than trepidation. Indifference also provides peace in the face of failure. Many fear failure because they tie their self-worth to their successes, but Stoicism teaches that failure is simply a necessary step on the path to growth. By detaching from the outcome, we can see failure as an opportunity to learn, which encourages us to take risks and grow without the constant fear of falling short. The Stoic principle of indifference also teaches us to release the pursuit of perfection. No one is flawless, and striving for perfection often leads to frustration. By accepting our imperfections with compassion, we can embrace both our strengths and weaknesses, freeing ourselves from the burden of unattainable ideals. Similarly, indifference allows us to let go of grudges. Holding on to anger or resentment only causes emotional strain, and Stoicism teaches us that forgiveness frees us from the past. By practicing indifference to others' wrongdoings, we can release emotional baggage and move forward with clarity and peace. In conflict, stoic indifference helps us remain calm. Whether dealing with disagreements with friends, family, or colleagues, we cannot control how others respond, but we can control our own reactions. By staying indifferent to the outcome of a conflict, we can approach it with a level-headed perspective and focus on finding a resolution rather than escalating emotions. Stoicism also teaches us to relinquish the need for fairness. Life isn't always fair, and the pursuit of fairness can lead to frustration. By accepting life's injustices and practicing indifference toward them, we free ourselves from the constant desire for justice in every situation. One of the most powerful aspects of stoic indifference is that it enables us to live without fear. Fear of failure, rejection, or the unknown can all limit our potential. Stoicism teaches us that fear is often based on factors beyond our control. By cultivating indifference to these fears, we are able to make choices based on reason and personal values, rather than being driven by fear. Additionally, indifference helps us release the need to control others. Many spend their lives trying to change or influence the behavior of those around them, but Stoicism teaches that the only person we can control is ourselves. By being indifferent to others' actions, we free ourselves from the frustration of trying to change what cannot be changed. Finally, stoic indifference promotes acceptance of life's events. There are many things beyond our control, and by accepting these circumstances with grace, we can find peace. This acceptance leads to a deep sense of freedom, allowing us to navigate life with a calm and steady mind, regardless of what comes our way. As we become more adept at applying stoic indifference in our own lives, another crucial skill emerges. recognizing and protecting ourselves from those who may seek to manipulate us. Manipulators often disguise their true intentions with masks of kindness or concern, but Stoicism helps us see through these illusions. By being mindful and setting clear boundaries, we can guard ourselves against manipulation. Many manipulators use subtle tactics such as flattery to win our favor and gain control. Stoicism teaches us to detach from emotional responses like praise, allowing us to see when flattery is being used as a tool for ulterior motives. Another common manipulative tactic is guilt tripping, making us feel responsible for others' problems. Stoicism reminds us that each person is responsible for their own emotions and actions, helping us resist the guilt that manipulators try to impose on us. We are not obligated to carry burdens that aren't ours. Some manipulators try to create a sense of obligation by doing favors or offering help, only to expect something in return. Stoicism teaches us to be cautious of relationships that come with unspoken strings attached. True kindness expects nothing in return, and any help with hidden motives is a form of manipulation. Inconsistency in behavior is another red flag of manipulation. Manipulators often alternate between kindness and coldness, creating confusion and making us question their true intentions. Stoicism values consistency and teaches us to remain grounded in our own perception, which helps us spot this kind of emotional manipulation. Manipulators may also play the victim to elicit sympathy and gain control. Stoicism teaches us to be discerning in how we apply our compassion, recognizing that not every cry for help is genuine. By maintaining emotional detachment, we can assess situations objectively and avoid being drawn into others' emotional games. Passive-aggressive behavior is another tool of manipulation, where someone expresses anger or disappointment indirectly, forcing us to guess what's wrong. Stoicism emphasizes clear and honest communication, and by recognizing passive aggression, we can step back and avoid being caught in emotional games. Gaslighting, a particularly insidious form of manipulation, involves distorting facts or denying events to make us question our own reality. Stoicism teaches us to trust our own judgment and reason, staying grounded in our perception of truth. This self-awareness helps us protect ourselves from being manipulated. Manipulators may also attempt to isolate us from others to increase their control. Stoicism values independence and self-reliance, and if someone is trying to separate us from our support network, it's a sign that they seek to dominate our lives. Maintaining healthy relationships outside of the manipulator's influence is crucial. Another tactic is emotional blackmail, where manipulators threaten to withdraw love or approval unless we comply with their demands. Stoicism teaches that healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, not coercion. By recognizing emotional blackmail, we can detach ourselves and protect our emotional well-being. Manipulators often try to create a sense of urgency or scarcity to force us into hasty decisions. Stoicism reminds us that true abundance comes from within and that we are not driven by external pressure. By practicing patience and reflection, we can resist the urge to make rushed decisions. Recognizing the fear tactics used by manipulators is another important skill. They may exaggerate risks or threats to make us feel trapped, but Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and recognize that most fears are based on illusions designed to keep us from living freely. Finally, manipulators may use charm and charisma to win us over, making it difficult to see their true intentions. Stoicism teaches us to evaluate people based on their actions, not superficial qualities. By staying grounded in our values, we can recognize when charm is being used as a tool for manipulation. Through all of these tactics, Stoicism provides us with the tools to protect our peace, maintain emotional independence, and navigate life's challenges with clarity and strength. By applying Stoic principles, we can create a life of purpose, free from manipulation and unnecessary emotional turmoil. Well-being manipulators often try to make you question your own decisions, confidence, and judgment. They may suggest you're incapable of making the right choices, creating self-doubt. Stoicism, however, encourages us to trust our own judgment and not seek validation from others. When someone undermines your confidence, it's a sign they are attempting to control your behavior. By staying rooted in your own reasoning and values, you can protect yourself from this type of manipulation. Manipulators also often use power dynamics to control others, positioning themselves as authority figures. Stoicism teaches that true authority comes from wisdom and virtue, not titles or status. When someone uses their position to dominate or manipulate you, it's a sign they're not aligned with Stoic principles. By adhering to your own values, you can resist these external pressures. Another key Stoic lesson is knowing when to walk away. Manipulators thrive on control, but Stoicism reminds us we have the power to leave situations that don't support our well-being. By recognizing manipulation and trusting our judgment, we can protect ourselves and regain our emotional freedom. When we become adept at identifying manipulators, we face a new challenge: narcissists. Narcissists excel at making everything revolve around them, often draining others emotionally and making them feel responsible for the narcissist's happiness. Stoicism provides a shield against this by helping you stay calm and composed without engaging in their ego-driven games. Narcissists thrive on attention, often manipulating those around them to fulfill their insatiable need for admiration. Stoicism teaches us not to feed into this need. By practicing emotional detachment, we can avoid giving them the validation they crave, not by being cold, but by not allowing their demands to control our behavior. A key Stoic principle is recognizing what is within your control and what isn't. When dealing with narcissists, it's essential to remember that you can't change their behavior or inflated sense of self, but you can control how you respond. Focusing on your own actions frees you from frustration over trying to manage their egos. Narcissists often manipulate others by making them feel responsible for their emotions. They may blame you for their issues or expect you to cater to their needs. Stoicism reminds us that we are not responsible for other people's emotional states. By embracing this principle, you can protect yourself from being dragged into their emotional drama. Stoicism also encourages us to practice indifference to things that don't serve our growth. Narcissists often create conflict to keep the focus on themselves. By practicing indifference to their attempts to stir up trouble, we preserve our peace. We don't need to engage in their emotional games. Instead, we can choose to remain calm and detached. Narcissists frequently try to dominate relationships by making everything about them. Stoicism teaches the importance of balance and mutual respect in relationships. When dealing with a narcissist, it's crucial to maintain your boundaries and not submit to their desire for control. By calmly asserting yourself, you protect your dignity and self-respect. One of the most powerful tools Stoicism offers when dealing with narcissists is the ability to remain indifferent to both praise and criticism. Narcissists often use both to manipulate, lavishing praise when they want something, and withdrawing it when they don't get their way. By not allowing their fluctuating opinions to affect you, you maintain your emotional equilibrium and remember that your worth is not determined by others. Another tactic narcissists use is shifting blame onto others, making it difficult for others to hold them accountable. Stoicism teaches us to take responsibility for our own actions and recognize that others are responsible for theirs. When dealing with narcissists, it's essential to stay grounded in the truth of your own actions and refuse to accept responsibility for their mistakes or emotional outbursts. Narcissists often create chaos to keep others off balance and dependent on them. Stoicism emphasizes order and clarity, encouraging us to stay grounded in logic and reason. By maintaining a sense of order and not allowing their drama to cloud our judgment, we protect our peace and stay focused on what truly matters. One of the most insidious tactics narcissists use is gaslighting, which involves manipulating someone into questioning their own reality. Stoicism teaches self-trust and the importance of knowing our own perceptions. When you trust your own sense of reality and reasoning, you become less vulnerable to their attempts to distort the truth. Narcissists expect others to orbit around them, but Stoicism teaches that we should not be swayed by unreasonable expectations. By setting clear boundaries and refusing to be drawn into their self-centered world, we maintain our peace and take back control of our time and energy. Stoicism also teaches us to focus on what truly matters. Narcissists often create distractions to keep the attention on themselves. When faced with their drama, ask yourself whether engaging serves your higher purpose. More often than not, the answer will be no. By focusing on what aligns with your values, you can avoid getting caught in their manipulative games. Narcissists often prey on those they perceive as emotionally weak or easily manipulated. By cultivating emotional resilience and self-confidence, you make yourself less vulnerable to their tactics. When you know your worth and trust your ability to navigate challenges, their attempts to control you lose their power. Another common manipulation tactic is love bombing, where narcissists overwhelm others with affection to create a sense of dependency. Stoicism reminds us that true love is steady and consistent, not based on manipulative highs and lows. By recognizing the difference, we can protect ourselves from being drawn into the narcissist's emotional roller coaster. Narcissists may also use triangulation, involving a third party to create jealousy or competition. This tactic is designed to make you feel insecure and more dependent on their approval. Stoicism teaches that your value doesn't depend on others' validation or competition. By refusing to engage in their games and focusing on your own sense of worth, you preserve your peace. A common tactic narcissists use is eroding your self-esteem to make you feel small in comparison to their grandiosity. Stoicism teaches that our value is inherent, not dependent on others' opinions. Self-respect starts with the realization that your worth is inherent and not dependent on external approval or the opinions of others. Stoicism teaches us that who we are is defined by our character and actions, not by how others perceive us. When we internalize this, we stop seeking validation from outside ourselves. Your value isn't determined by praise, success, or social status, but by how faithfully you live according to your values and principles. A central idea in Stoicism is that while we cannot control external events, we have control over our thoughts and actions. This understanding is crucial for building self-respect. When you focus on how you behave and think, you realize that self-respect comes from within. Each time you act in accordance with your principles, you affirm your own worth. This ongoing commitment to integrity strengthens your sense of self-respect. Another key to self-respect is setting boundaries. Stoicism teaches that to preserve your peace, you need to say no to people, behaviors, or situations that conflict with your values. By setting boundaries, you assert that your time, energy, and emotions are valuable, and you protect these resources not out of selfishness, but out of respect for yourself. Accountability is also central to self-respect. Stoicism encourages us to take responsibility for our actions and their consequences. Owning up to mistakes, learning from them, and striving to improve builds personal responsibility and self-respect. When you hold yourself accountable, you show that you respect your growth and take your own development seriously. Discipline and self-control are vital elements of self-respect. Stoicism teaches that we should choose the harder but right path over the easier wrong one. Each time you practice discipline, whether in habits, reactions, or goals, you strengthen the belief that you are capable of making wise, intentional choices. This consistency reinforces your respect for yourself and your abilities. Self-reliance is another essential aspect. Stoicism teaches that true freedom comes from depending on your own inner strength, rather than seeking constant reassurance from others. When you trust in your ability to handle life's challenges independently, you cultivate confidence in your resilience and reinforce your sense of self-respect. Self-respect also involves kindness to yourself. While striving for improvement is important, Stoicism reminds us not to be overly harsh or critical. Just as you would show compassion to a friend, you should extend the same understanding to yourself. Giving yourself room to make mistakes and learn fosters a healthy sense of self-respect. Your worth isn't tied to what you achieve or accomplish. Stoicism warns that seeking external success as the basis for self-worth can lead to disappointment. True self-respect comes from inner character, how you handle challenges, treat others, and live according to your values. When you focus on internal growth rather than external validation, your self-respect becomes rooted in something that cannot be taken away. Stoicism also teaches us to accept ourselves as we are while continuing to strive for improvement. Self-respect comes from recognizing that you are already complete and valuable, even as you pursue growth. This acceptance of your strengths and weaknesses fosters a sense of wholeness and builds a solid foundation for self-respect. Living with purpose is another important aspect of self-respect. Stoicism teaches that we should align our actions with a higher purpose rather than being swayed by fleeting desires. When you commit to living a meaningful life, you demonstrate respect for your time and energy, reinforcing your sense of self-worth. Letting go of comparisons is another Stoic principle that nurtures self-respect. It's easy to fall into the trap of measuring yourself against others, but Stoicism teaches that everyone's path is unique. By focusing on your own progress and growth, rather than comparing yourself to others, you build respect for your individual journey. Saying no, when necessary, is also crucial for self-respect. Stoicism teaches that we must guard our time and energy by not overcommitting or engaging in things that don't serve our values. Setting boundaries and prioritizing what aligns with your purpose affirms that your time is valuable. Patience is key in building self-respect. Stoicism reminds us that growth takes time, and each step forward, no matter how small, is important. By being patient with your own progress, you show respect for your journey, understanding that perfection doesn't happen overnight. Taking care of your body and mind is a fundamental part of self-respect. Stoicism teaches us that we must care for ourselves physically, mentally, and emotionally to live a balanced life. Prioritizing health, whether through exercise, rest, or positive mental practices, shows that you respect the body and mind that carry you through life. Forgiving yourself is also crucial for self-respect. Holding on to past mistakes can hinder growth. Stoicism teaches that practicing self-forgiveness allows you to move beyond past errors and focus on your future development. This act of self-compassion frees you from the weight of regret and builds self-respect. Standing up for yourself when necessary is another Stoic principle. Self-respect means maintaining your dignity and not allowing others to treat you poorly. While this doesn't mean engaging in conflict, it does mean asserting your right to be treated with respect and not tolerating behaviors that undermine your worth. Detaching from the need for external validation is essential for lasting self-respect. Stoicism teaches that true self-respect comes from within. When you stop seeking approval from others and focus on living in line with your principles, you build a solid, unshakable sense of worth. Perseverance in the face of adversity is another Stoic lesson that strengthens self-respect. Continuing to pursue your goals despite setbacks reinforces your belief in your ability to overcome challenges. Resilience in the face of difficulties proves your self-worth and capability. In relationships, self-respect means recognizing your worth and ensuring that relationships are built on mutual respect and reciprocity. Stoicism teaches that you should prioritize relationships where both parties contribute to each other's well-being, rather than staying in one-sided or toxic relationships. Taking pride in your work, regardless of the outcome, is another important way to build self-respect. Stoicism encourages us to strive for excellence, not for recognition, but because it reflects our character and dedication. Putting in the effort and doing your best builds respect for yourself. Wisdom is another key to self-respect. Stoicism teaches that wisdom is a lifelong pursuit, and self-respect grows as we continue to learn and grow. Embracing the process of becoming the best version of ourselves builds confidence and respect for our ongoing development. Gratitude is also an important part of self-respect. Stoicism teaches us to appreciate what we have rather than focusing on what we lack. Gratitude helps you recognize your worth and prevents self-doubt from undermining your confidence. Being true to your word and acting with integrity builds self-respect. When you honor your commitments and follow through on promises, you show that you are reliable and trustworthy, both to others and to yourself. Embracing your uniqueness is another key lesson in cultivating self-respect. Stoicism teaches that we each have our own path, and by embracing our individuality, we can live authentically and confidently, grounded in our own values. Finally, letting go of things that no longer serve you, whether toxic relationships, harmful habits, or limiting beliefs, is a powerful act of self-respect. By releasing what holds you back, you create space for personal growth and positive change. Stoicism teaches that true self-respect comes from living with virtue, humility, and focus on what truly matters. It's a lifelong journey, and each step of reflection and intentional action helps build a deeper, lasting sense of respect for yourself. You should never sacrifice your integrity just to please others. If helping someone requires you to act against your own values or disregard your well-being, it's not truly virtuous assistance. In Stoic philosophy, genuine help benefits both parties while remaining aligned with ethical behavior. In terms of friendship, Stoicism teaches that we should help those who are willing to help themselves. Offering assistance to someone in need is one thing, but if they resist taking responsibility for their life or continue making poor decisions, your support may become enabling rather than empowering. Stoicism encourages helping those who are actively striving to improve, as this is consistent with wisdom. Helping those who refuse to change can drain your energy and diminish your ability to assist others who would genuinely benefit from your guidance. Not everyone deserves your help just because they ask for it. Your time, energy, and resources are limited, so it's essential to prioritize relationships where virtues like honesty, integrity, and growth are present. By assisting people who embody these qualities, you not only help them, but you also contribute to your own personal development. Virtuous friendships inspire mutual growth. A key factor in determining who deserves your help is their commitment to justice. Stoicism values fairness and treating others with respect. If someone consistently acts unjustly or takes advantage of others, they are not aligned with Stoic virtues, and offering help to such individuals could inadvertently support harmful behaviors. On the other hand, helping those who strive for justice contributes to the common good. Virtuous friendships also involve a willingness to challenge one another. True friends offer honest feedback and constructive criticism, helping each other grow even when it's uncomfortable. Stoicism values relationships where both parties help each other become better versions of themselves. Supporting people who resist growth or remain stuck in negative patterns is not as valuable as supporting those who are open to change. Another important quality to consider is whether a person fosters a sense of community. Stoicism teaches that we are all interconnected, and our actions have a broader impact. Those who build positive, supportive connections contribute to collective well-being, and helping them benefits not just the individual, but also the community at large. While helping others is virtuous, it's crucial to avoid creating dependency. Stoicism encourages you to empower others so they can stand on their own and make wise decisions. The goal is to support self-sufficiency, not to create a cycle of reliance. Helping those who strive for independence aligns with the Stoic value of self-reliance, whereas continually helping those who refuse to take responsibility may hinder their progress. Discernment is also vital. Not everyone who asks for help has good intentions, so you must carefully assess the impact of your assistance. Will it lead to positive outcomes, or will it enable harmful behavior? By reflecting on the consequences of your actions, you ensure your help aligns with virtue and benefits both the individual and the community. True compassion, not obligation, should drive your desire to help others. If you're pressured into helping someone, it can lead to resentment and burnout. Stoicism teaches that compassion should come from strength and clarity, helping because it aligns with your values, not because you feel obligated. This creates a healthy, virtuous dynamic in your relationships. Stoicism also encourages you to help those who are committed to learning and growth. A virtuous friend is someone who seeks self-improvement. Offering help to those who are open to learning fosters mutual growth. In contrast, assisting those resistant to change can feel draining and unfulfilling. Humility is another key characteristic of virtuous friendships. Stoicism teaches that humility is essential for living a virtuous life. Helping those who demonstrate humility and openness to feedback deepens the connection, while helping those who are arrogant or unwilling to grow only feeds their ego and stunts their development. Gratitude strengthens friendships. Stoicism teaches that those who appreciate the help they receive are more likely to cultivate virtuous relationships. When someone acknowledges your effort, it deepens the bond of friendship and creates a foundation of mutual respect. In contrast, helping someone who takes your support for granted can breed resentment. A true friend supports your growth, not just your comfort. Stoicism encourages you to value relationships where both parties challenge each other to become better, even if it means stepping outside of your comfort zone. Relationships rooted in virtue inspire each person to strive for excellence, helping each other improve along the way. Sometimes it's necessary to know when to step back. People change, and those who once deserved your help may no longer align with your values. Stoicism teaches that relationships should serve both parties positively, and if someone no longer reciprocates effort or takes advantage of your help, it may be time to reconsider your involvement. This doesn't mean cutting ties over minor issues, but practicing discernment about whether the relationship still benefits both of you. Helping others requires a sense of kindness, as Stoicism values compassion. When you assist someone who is kind and considerate, the help they receive is more likely to be used for the benefit of others, creating a ripple effect of positivity. By surrounding yourself with people who embody kindness, you foster relationships that align with Stoic principles of living in harmony with others. Additionally, helping others should come from a place of selflessness, not ego. When you help because you want recognition, your actions lose their virtuous quality. The most deserving people to help are those who appreciate your support without the need for constant praise, creating a balanced relationship where both parties act out of genuine care. Resilience is another trait to look for when deciding who deserves your help. Stoicism values perseverance through adversity. By helping someone who demonstrates resilience, you support their efforts without diminishing their sense of responsibility. You contribute to their journey without taking control of it, reinforcing their autonomy. Honesty and trust are crucial in any relationship. Stoicism teaches that truth is a fundamental virtue, and in friendships, it strengthens the bond. Helping those who are honest about their needs and intentions creates trust, whereas supporting those who are dishonest can lead to frustration and disappointment. Patience is another vital element. Relationships require time to develop, and helping someone who is patient and willing to grow at their own pace leads to a healthy dynamic. Helping someone who demands immediate results or lacks patience can put undue stress on the relationship. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of surrounding yourself with people who inspire you. Friends who embody the virtues you admire can lift you up and encourage you to strive for greater heights. In contrast, helping those who pull you away from your values or hinder your growth detracts from your purpose. Lastly, forgiveness is essential. Stoicism teaches that no one is perfect and mistakes are inevitable. Supporting those who admit their wrongs and seek to improve shows that you value their growth. In contrast, helping those who refuse to acknowledge their mistakes or continue harmful behaviors can feel like wasted effort. Stoicism encourages us to help those who uphold justice. True friends are those who act with fairness and respect, and helping such individuals strengthens your bond while aligning with Stoic principles. Helping those who act unjustly only perpetuates harm, while supporting those who strive for justice contributes to a more harmonious world. Ultimately, Stoicism teaches that the most deserving people to help are those who uplift you and share your commitment to living a virtuous life. These relationships are rooted in a shared vision of growth, integrity, and mutual respect, empowering both parties to reach their full potential. Setting and maintaining boundaries is a powerful way to assert control over your life and well-being. Boundaries help protect your sense of self-worth, ensuring your happiness isn't dependent on others' actions or opinions. According to Stoicism, boundaries are an essential practice of patience, as enforcing them is a continual process that requires steady commitment. Sometimes others may not immediately respect your limits, which can lead to friction. But Stoicism teaches the value of maintaining calm and patience, demonstrating that your boundaries are firm and non-negotiable through consistency. Boundaries also protect your time and energy, which Stoicism recognizes as valuable resources. By setting clear limits, you can dedicate yourself to what truly matters and avoid being drained by unnecessary demands or distractions. In doing so, you honor your priorities, reduce stress, and prevent burnout. Furthermore, boundaries foster mutual respect. When you clearly communicate your limits, you teach others how to treat you and show the importance of respecting others' needs as well. This mutual respect builds trust and creates a foundation of equality in relationships. Another crucial aspect of boundaries is learning to say no without guilt. Stoicism teaches that we should act based on our values, not out of fear of disappointing others. Saying no is often necessary to protect your well-being, and while it can be difficult, Stoicism encourages you to stand firm in your decisions and prioritize your needs over others' expectations. Similarly, Stoic wisdom reminds us that boundaries should be both flexible and firm. Life circumstances change and your boundaries may need adjusting. Flexibility allows you to adapt without compromising your core values, while firmness ensures your fundamental principles remain intact. Stoicism also teaches that boundaries are a sign of strength, not weakness. Setting and maintaining boundaries requires courage, self-awareness, and commitment to your values, even when others push against them. True strength lies in knowing yourself and protecting your peace, even in difficult situations. Moreover, boundaries are an essential part of respecting others as well. Just as you expect others to honor your limits, you must also respect theirs. Stoicism encourages humility in relationships, urging us to understand and honor the needs of others. Forgiveness plays an important role in boundary setting. Holding on to resentment or anger only disrupts your peace. Stoicism teaches that forgiveness is vital for personal growth and inner clarity. When someone violates your boundaries, it's natural to feel hurt or frustrated, but forgiveness allows you to move forward without carrying the emotional burden. This helps protect your emotional energy and ensures that you don't become overwhelmed by others' emotional needs. Consistency is key in enforcing boundaries. It's not enough to set limits once and expect them to be respected. You must be consistent in upholding them. This consistency reinforces that your boundaries are non-negotiable, preventing misunderstandings and creating clear expectations. Over time, consistent boundary setting leads to healthier, more respectful relationships. Stoicism also teaches that boundaries are integral to inner peace. By protecting your mental and emotional well-being, boundaries reduce stress and anxiety, allowing you to focus on what truly matters: your values, goals, and relationships. In this sense, boundaries help you live a more intentional, purposeful life, aligning your actions with your deepest principles. Setting boundaries can be uncomfortable, especially if you're not used to asserting yourself. Stoicism encourages self-compassion during this process. It's okay to make mistakes as you learn how to protect your needs and assert your limits. Over time, with practice and confidence, setting boundaries becomes easier. Maintaining boundaries is also crucial for creating balance in your life. Without clear limits, it's easy to become overwhelmed by others' needs or lose sight of your own. Boundaries allow you to maintain equilibrium between your responsibilities to others and your responsibility to yourself, ensuring that you don't neglect your well-being in the pursuit of helping others. Reflection is another vital aspect of boundary setting. Stoicism encourages regular self-examination to ensure your actions are in alignment with your values. By reflecting on your boundaries, you can assess whether they're still serving your well-being or if adjustments are necessary. This practice helps you stay true to your principles and maintain your peace. Furthermore, boundaries are a form of self-respect. By setting limits, you're affirming that your time, energy, and well-being are valuable and deserve protection. Respecting your own needs teaches others to respect you as well. Boundaries also help you separate your identity from others' opinions. Your worth is not determined by others' judgments, but by how you live in accordance with your values. Boundaries reinforce this by preventing you from becoming overly influenced by external expectations. Gratitude is also an important part of boundary setting. By acknowledging the value of the limits you create, you reinforce their importance in your life. Gratitude for your boundaries helps you stay committed to maintaining them, even when it's challenging. Stoicism teaches that boundaries should be rooted in kindness, both toward yourself and others. Setting boundaries is not about punishing or isolating others, but about creating a space where both parties can thrive. When you communicate your limits with respect and compassion, it fosters healthy, supportive relationship. Stoicism encourages us to view boundaries as tools for self-respect, balance, inner peace, and growth. By establishing clear limits, we not only protect our well-being, but also foster healthier relationships built on mutual respect, fairness, and justice. Through consistent practice and reflection, boundaries become a way of living in alignment with our values and protecting what truly matters in our lives. When we value and respect one another in relationships, this mutual appreciation deepens the bond between individuals, ensuring that both feel recognized and valued. Stoicism teaches that justice in relationships involves honesty and transparency. Deception, intentional or otherwise, undermines trust and creates an imbalance of power. True justice requires clear communication, even when the truth is difficult to convey, as this forms the foundation of trust and respect in the relationship. Another important aspect of justice in relationships is recognizing effort. Stoicism encourages us to appreciate the effort someone puts into a relationship, even if the outcome isn't perfect. In relationships, justice means valuing intentions and effort over mere results, creating a compassionate and understanding dynamic where both parties feel encouraged to grow. Justice also requires releasing unrealistic expectations. Stoicism teaches us to avoid demanding perfection, acknowledging that all humans are fallible. In relationships, this means accepting mistakes and approaching them with fairness, judging others by their character and actions over time, rather than holding them to unattainable standards. Letting go of unrealistic expectations allows space for growth and learning. Acting with integrity is another key element of justice. Stoicism emphasizes staying true to our principles, even when it's challenging. In relationships, this means standing by our values and treating others with fairness and respect. Even in emotionally charged situations,